Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we're discussing the G.I. Joe Shop and Museum in Lone Wolf, and later in the show, the best outdoor concert series is right here. I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
So, I feel like this is I'm having deja vu. I think we got to this point.
Before you died last
Before
time?
I died last time. I don't know what happened. Nobody has an answer. But my one eye was bigger than the other, and you remember the show V?
You know, this is an audio show.
Yeah.
And you know that the people that are listening to this show have no idea what we're talking about.
Well, I know, but my thing is, it's almost like you realize there's an invention called television, and on this invention, they show shows, right? Okay, backstory. So we're sitting in this same spot right here a week ago tonight. You look at me, and like you have, longingly for the last 15 years, and you say...
I say, what the F is wrong with your eye? And you're like, what?
What eye?
I have two of them. What are you talking about?
Well, I've just recently started wearing contacts, so I'm still kind of getting used to them, so I don't know if it's like a magnifying glass that not only helps me see well, but also makes my eye swell, or appear to swell. So I get it, you take a picture of it, you show me one pupil. I mean, am I wrong? The pupil was almost covering the entire iris of my eye.
Yeah, one of your pupils was fully dilated, the other one was not.
Was not. It was like I was high on one side of my face.
So Brett immediately goes to Google, and Google says, oh crap, you're dying.
Right, you're going to have one of two things. You're about to have a stroke, or, what was the other one? An aneurysm.
Yeah. So Brett instantaneously breaks into sweats.
I did. I'm freaking out, man.
Just tell my kids I love them.
Yeah, it's like the mask was like, hold me close, Ed. It's getting dark. I mean, I was like curled up in your arms and you're rocking me back and forth. Took me to the urgent care, like a good.
And the urgent care apparently went to Google and went,
said,
what is this? And
right.
They're like, holy crap, go to the ER right now.
Right, you're dying. So
yeah.
I go to the ER.
And they laughed at you.
And they kind of laughed at me. I don't know what happened. Never happened again. But I was, for the couple days afterwards, dude, I was freaking out.
Yeah, so luckily we had...
I'm moving my phone and putting it on D&D so it doesn't...
I'm about to throw it out the damn window.
Okay.
So luckily we had a show in the can already, so we didn't have to go showless. But yeah, we completely burned a recording day.
Oh yeah. You know what?
But on a travel and tourism note, I did go see a movie at...
Oh boy.
What?
Nothing.
I did go see a movie at the Palace Twin in Duncan, Oklahoma.
I'm not going to... but we have to pretend...
I had a good experience at the theater.
Hey, look, fourth wall. We're going to break the fourth wall like Deadpool. I'm glad that you had a great experience, but we argued for 2 hours about how great your experience was.
I loved the theater. I did not love the movie. I made a bad choice.
Say what, folks, if you listen to the very end, this is, in the Marvel Universe, that first time you waited at the end of Iron Man to see Nick Fury and everybody said, oh, wow, it's Lawrence Fishburne. This is your Lawrence Fishburne moment.
Oh, my God.
Stay to the very end for a very special MCU Easter egg.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss it.
But anyway, speaking of great American heroes.
Oh, nice.
I say, unless you're Cobra Commander, you are going to love the G.I. Joe Shop and Museum in Lone Wolf, Oklahoma.
That's something I'll be honest with you. How many times in the history of this show have we went, I had no idea. I've heard of the toy. We've been to the toy museum numerous times in Pauls Valley. Had no idea about G.I. Joe Shop in Lone Wolf. No clue.
It's relatively new. It opened in 2015.
Yeah.
It is home to almost 300 G.I. Joe figures.
That's a lot of Joes.
It is a lot of Joes. I think it's a really good way to
Pay homage?
To remember your childhood.
Yeah.
Especially for people our age.
You know what? One thing I've noticed, and I'm probably overstating the obvious. Nostalgia is king right now.
Yeah, I think
you thought it might go away. You thought it might kind of peter out, but every time you turn around, something's reigniting your childhood and remaking a movie or a toy and destroying it for you. That's why I think something like this is cool, because you get to see it in its purest form.
Yeah, the thing about the whole nostalgia thing that I find disconcerting is, like, we're nostalgic about G.I. Joe the cartoon.
Yeah, we are.
But if you say G.I. Joe, there's a segment of the population that only knows the stupid, lame movie G.I. Joe.
Right.
And so then you're kind of like, you're talking the same thing, but you're not talking the same thing.
Well, and then there's another generation. Our generation experienced the tail end of the large figures and into the smaller play sets. So you've got
Kung Fu grip. Yeah.
Right, with the Kung Fu grip. So you've got the generation that's ahead of us, a generation that's seems like light years behind us.
Right.
But I think we all, I hate to even try to bring the younger Joe generation into the group hug, but I think when we can all embrace it for exactly what it is, we'll be a lot better off.
My issue is it's really hard to have that sense of nostalgia that is for your thing when they keep rebooting it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's hard for you to go, yeah, I remember the good old days with the G.I. Joes.
Right. If you like but then they do if you like the old one, now try the new one. And then you get the new one, you're like, okay, it kind of feels the same, but Destro looks different. Oh, yeah, well, guess what? There's more.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, they pile on.
And it's hard to kind of have that, I don't like the word, but fandom. It's hard for you to have your thing when they're constantly tweaking it.
Yeah.
So I think it's really cool that this G.I. Joe shop has, the classic G.I. Joes, the vintage G.I. Joes, where you can kind of immerse yourself in your part, if that makes sense.
I'll be honest with you, and probably you were the same. A lot of my Joes came from thrift stores. And it would be the Stormtroopers versus Cobra, with maybe a Joe. I don't even think. What's sad is I don't even think I had the Joe character. I think I had the ancillary heroes, and then it would be like the big, WWF figures. It was just like this all out. We were kids like us. They talk about the multiverse. Dude, we were doing the multiverse in the backyard in like 1985.
I think we've talked about it before, but
yeah,
my big thing with my Star Wars characters is I always wanted another Stormtrooper because Stormtroopers were always getting messed up.
Yeah, they were getting burnt, all kinds of stuff.
And none of your Stormtroopers came that way. So I would take scissors to them. I would take a hammer to them. I would take
a lighter,
burn
put it on the helmet. Yeah.
So that they have burn marks from the phaser fire and all that.
Yeah, they didn't have a from Hasbro, the battle damaged trooper.
Right.
You know what I mean? I look at all the toys that I had. I was watching Return of the Jedi the other night on Disney because I didn't get to go see it in the theater for the 40th. I was like, seemed like Jedi. We'll get back to Joe, but I want to ask you a question. Talking about Star Wars for just a second. Of your Star Wars toys, which movie do you think you had I had more Jedi toys. I had a Rancor. I had Jabba. I had Jabba's lair, the pit. I had.
I think most of mine were Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, and I think it's an age thing too. So, but
you're a couple of years younger than me,
so that makes sense. But Joe was a part of that clique too,
dude. I'm telling you, and I probably had a mountain of these things. I probably could, if I had all of my G.I. Joes from all of the years, I'd probably have enough for my own museum.
Or to go buy that truck you've been trying to get.
But their toys are showcased in all possible settings. So they've got wartime settings, modern day adventures. They also have different vehicles, uniforms, accessories. So you can kind of go, and they encourage that you you touch the displays.
Yeah.
So I think it's fun. It's a way to introduce your kids to an era of toys that was more wholesome and didn't have 7,000 layers of garbage on top of it.
I think I'm going to say it, the worst part of the modern era G.I. Joes is there's about a 99.9% chance that there's a Dwayne the Rock Johnson G.I. Joe toy out there that needs to be buried.
Well, from the other standpoint, one of the things that they do at the G.I. Joe shop is they do G.I. Joe surgeries.
Oh, really?
So they repair damaged G.I. Joes. Maybe they might do stormtroopers too. If you have, it's a possibility.
God, I wish I had those toys. I would have sold them in a second.
But they can bring your G.I. Joe back to life.
Oh, really?
Which is something that Dwayne the Rock Johnson has not been able to accomplish.
No, and I fear he may need somebody to repair his superhero career because I think he's done there too. But where is Lone Wolf?
Lone Wolf is near Lake Altus Lugert, Quartz Mountain area.
Okay.
And it's got some really pretty...
Dude, it's gorgeous down there, especially around that Quartz Mountain area.
Yes.
It is beautiful down there.
Super small town, 500 residents. But a lot of people pass through that town to see their, smaller, quirky shops.
Yeah.
And I think I personally think this is a destination.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So if you are in the area, you want to go to the G.I. Joe shop, you can find them on Facebook at G.I. Joe Repair.
I'm Cobra Commander, and after the break, Scissortail Park is in the news. Take that, Joes.
I'm Raven Rollins, and this is my Southern True Crime podcast where I discuss cases from my former hometown. Ada, Oklahoma paints itself as an average community, but its history of murder and corruption runs deeper than any story has ever told. You'll hear plenty of special guests, including authors and experts in their fields, who visit with me on each episode, as well as other cases in the southern states. With notorious and unknown cases alike, every victim sees the light on my show. This is Sirens, a true crime podcast.
New story out of KFR.
Yes.
Scissortail Park named one of the best outdoor concert series. Recently, there was a USA Today 10 Best, and Oklahoma City's on the list again.
Here's the deal. I got nothing against Scissortail Park, okay? We got Scissortail Park pre-pandemic. Is that about right?
Yeah. Are you? You're gonna say zoo amphitheater?
I gotta take it there.
All right.
I mean, they've had. We'd have to do a show in 5-10-part series on how many just freaking bangers of concerts have been to OKC via the zoo amphitheater. I've got no issue with this being on the list, but I feel they're pandering a little.
No, I don't think that it is a matter of pandering. I think you're confusing them having a concert series that made a list versus being a concert venue.
What concert series?
Their summer concert series is number 3 on the USA Today list.
Okay. Well, who heard about it?
Well, obviously a lot of people because it was number 3 nationally ranked.
Okay. I mean, I'm just saying they've had a lot of concert series at the zoo amphitheater. They have a whole season of concert series. I'm just saying I got nothing against Scissortail Park. I will walk my dog in their dog park. I will eat from their food trucks that are neatly and strategically placed across from the brand new beautiful convention center. I'm just saying
you like the zoo amphitheater better.
Yes.
I'm just saying that this is a poll of USA Today readers.
I get it.
And they like the series that the Scissortail Park does.
I like the series Yellowstone. Okay? That's the series that I like. Does it sound like I'm being hateful about Scissortail Park?
It sounds like you're really salty, like you own stock in the zoo amphitheater.
Kind of like a guy that acts like he owns stock in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Stick around to the end of the show and you'll see why. let's just finish the story. We'll finish the story.
I think a lot of people really like Scissortail Park
Yeah.
for the concert experience because it's a little bit different. It's
A little bit more family friendly.
It's not a stadium situation.
Yeah.
You can bring a blanket, sit under a tree.
You can bring your dog.
You can bring your dog, which I don't know how many dogs like loud music, but hey, if you got one, I think
Dude, if you have a dog that likes loud music, it probably shouldn't be in public. It probably needs to stay home and attack people that try to break into your house. I'm just saying. Yeah, okay. So I'll redact some of what I said. I think as a general location, here are the cons to Zoo-Am. You can't bring your own drinks. You can't bring your own chairs. You can bring a blanket and sit on rocky red dirt versus pull up a chair, sit anywhere situation. So
I think a lot of it is probably, it's wide open.
Yeah.
And I think the music is probably a different variety, a different vibe than what you prefer. So I mean, they've had big concerts like Leanne Rimes there.
Yeah.
They've had jazz and salsa concerts. They've had the Oklahoma City Philharmonic. So
I get it.
They have a lot of concerts that I think appeal to a broader
audience,
a broader swath of the community.
Right, and there's probably not a ton of clouds of weed smoke and vape smoke, and they cater to a little bit more of a. What am I saying? Now I'm alienating.
They're
people.
catering to the groups of people that didn't grow up on Headbangers Ball.
There you go. Well done.
So I think it's cool. Again, Oklahoma City makes these big national lists constantly now.
Yeah.
It's almost hard for us to keep up with.
If we can just keep California out, I think we'll be all right. Texas is running out of room, dude. It's happening.
Yeah, Texas is filling up fast. If you want more information on the Scissortail Park and the USA Today poll, we'll put a link in the show note for KFOR's news story.
Well, I hate to say it's that time again for listener feedback.
So we do have, again,
a crazy amount.
I'm super pumped. We have a new person following the show on the Fountain.fm app.
Uh-huh.
Mars Sats has been following us for a couple of weeks now.
It's crazy.
Making clips nonstop. They really get our sense of humor.
Dude, tell me when you hear that someone has saved clips of your show and posted them not on your Facebook page, but to a random. Let's talk about how random Fountain is. Hell, I didn't know about it till you told me about it, and you only told me about it because somebody had posted on Fountain.
Yeah.
It's really cool, man. It's like listening to your own highlight reel or somebody making a mixtape of your shit. It's
really,
cool.
Really does boil down to that. This is one of the podcasting 2.0 apps, though, that have chapters.
Yeah.
Found.fm is really cool. It's my go-to podcasting app now. I'm super pumped on it. There are a couple of my favorite shows that haven't embraced Fountain.fm.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for me to find their shows and stuff. But outside of that, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, it sounds really cool.
But I'm super pumped on Marsats.
Marsats, and then we've had a few others on there doing the same thing. But Marsats literally took one of our shows to the ICU.
There were a few cuts. They did 3 on a couple of weeks
on our Gas Squatch episode.
I think he just did 2 on the Gas Squatch episode, but the episode before that...
Oh, the best of Chickasaw Country, yeah.
Which he found... And it's funny, looking at or listening to the clips that he created, or that Marsats created, it's all of the things that I think are funny when you look at it kind of independently.
Because you can listen to it objective. I mean, I listen to our show pretty objectively. The episode that he took apart with the kung fu fighting or whatever, I can't remember. I listened to that
yourself before you knew there were clips
over and because it's one of the funniest things, folks. If you want some of the funniest stuff, I'm telling you, the MCU's taking a break right now with quality. Obviously, stay to the end. I'm telling you, there's some nuggets in there, y'all. Cut them up, put them on Fountain FM.
Share them with your friends.
Share them with your friends. Tell your mom, because moms, I don't know if you know this, moms really like us.
Especially Brett's mom.
What can I say other than this has been the OnlyinOKShow show. New episodes every week, unless I have a stroke. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley, and we're out of here.
Peace. And we've got a call coming from Mick from New Zealand. Mick, you're on.
Hey guys, just want to let you know we're here in New Zealand. We love to listen to the OnlyinOKShow. You guys are really funny. And the next time you want to do a walkabout and pick some kiwis.
No.
Are we down in New Zealand?
Let me see.
Ooh.
No, we're not doing very good in New Zealand right now. I will say Brazil is high
Brasilia.
for some reason.
I was hoping we'd be doing good in the...
Argentina's high, but really it's us and then Canada.
I was hoping it'd be... Have you heard of a podcast down under? They talk about...
Our South American numbers are really high.
I'm not saying anything. I don't want any trouble from... There's some beautiful people in South America.
Anyway, we need to give a shout out to Marsats
Marsats in...
at the end of the show.
Marsats at the end of the show. Give me just a second. Don't go anywhere. Dude, I went to... I went to a movie. Did I tell you about that movie, Sisu?
Sisu? Did I tell you
What?
that I went and saw... I did, and you didn't respond.
You didn't send me anything.
The hell I didn't.
What?
I texted you the other
What'd
day.
you go see?
I said, where'd you go?
You saw
hang on.
Mario Brothers?
I said, we didn't exist before us. Then I said, I think I just watched the most expensive murder ever, or suicide. You said nothing to that.
I did not. I don't recall seeing it on my phone. Well, what's the most expensive murder or suicide ever? You saw John Wick?
No.
John
Guardians
Wick.
of the Galaxy.
Don't. I haven't seen it yet. I heard it's emotional.
No.
Really?
Dude, it is not emotional. Amber cried a little bit, but Amber cries at double mint commercials.
I get it, but you're not. No.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I've seen you cry once in 15 years, dude.
This was a straight up...
We got to kill everybody?
No.
Not a good bookend?
No. Literally, if you were trying to... I won't give any spoilers. If you were trying to end your career as a producer or a writer,
yeah,
and you were given the job
of ending your own career,
if you were given the job of doing Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
yeah,
and you no longer wanted to be employable, that is what you would have produced.
Was it bad?
Everything about it was bad.
Really?
It was not funny.
Okay.
I sat in that theater for 2 hours and 40 minutes. I giggled twice.
Okay.
I didn't laugh once.
Well, James Gunn's taking over DC.
Don't care.
Okay. You don't like James Gunn?
Dude, it was Guardians of the Galaxy was garbage.
Huh. A lot of people liked it.
There's no effing way.
The movie I will probably see Guardians 3 because I've seen them all. The first one's the best one. Okay. But I think Guardians 3 is going to make 400, 500 million. It made 150 million open weekend. But what I'm looking forward to is...
It made 118 million, not 150 million.
Okay, but it's going to probably make 400 million.
Scheduled. They had planned on it making 150 or 180 million.
Okay.
It made 120.
Why are you so mad? You act like you're a producer on the show.
I'm offended that they put it out.
I understand. I'm looking forward to the Spider-Verse movie.
Why are you changing the subject?
Because it's in the Marvel Universe.
The action scene sucks. The CG sucked. The writing sucked. There was not a bit of humor in the
Now
whole
listen, what was the last movie you saw before that was funny? Here's the thing. A lot of people have liked the movie. I've heard a lot of good... and I'll tell you when I go see Little Mermaid, what I think about Little Mermaid. I'm going to go see it.
I don't care.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at Metacritic on Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because I immediately went out to the car
Yeah.
and looked it up, and I was like, why are these numbers so high? And then I realized, like, this shit was preloaded. Like, the tomato meter is now at 82%. When I saw it on Sunday, it was at 99%.
Well, they all start there. It's like an eBay rating. You always start at 100.
82% with only 318 reviews.
Give me 5 good ones. Give me 5 bad ones.
What?
Give me 5 good reviews, 5 bad reviews. I want to hear what people are saying.
Top critics. It's an A. Okay, James Gunn has an incredible way of balancing the mix of humor and heart and has gotten bigger and better with that. There's your top.
Okay.
Now, give me a 3 out of 4, 2 out of 4. A movie is only as good as its bad guy, and I dreaded having to spend any time with him. It's a bad...
Here's the point. Art is subjective.
Dude, this is not art. I'm telling you. When you go watch this movie, you're going to be like, why would you... Like, do you not want anybody to watch this? Were you pissed off at your audience? Well, it didn't have any redeeming qualities.
This is my thing about Marvel. Marvel's experiencing something that I don't think we ever thought that they would.
Okay, so here's Metacritic, by the way.
Okay.
65 on Metacritic.
Not terrible.
Dude, 65?
I know. It's not terrible, though.
It's a 7 on the user score.
I mean, that's still a C, right? 65 is C?
No, that's a D.
Is it? Oh. 70 is a C.
Yes.
So it goes to show how good my grades were. Here's the thing about Marvel. Let's be realistic. I know you want to say something, or you want to chime in, but give me a second here. Remember a bunch of us went and saw Iron Man 1?
Yes.
And we walked out of the theater, and the guy goes, that was Lawrence Fishburne. See how far they've come since then? Now we know that it's Samuel L. Jackson. But the point is, it's been how many year odyssey that we've been doing these Marvel movies?
Chicago Tribune review. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 review. Quest to save the raccoon becomes the most empty, brutal MCU movie yet.
Brutal in what sense? Like bad or just...
Dude, like I said, take Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Oh, you can't do that.
Take Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yeah.
Take away all the humor. Take away all the likability of every single character. And make the bad guy like a Looney Tunes character. And that's what you get with Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Here's my thing. Look, can I finish my thought? I haven't seen the movie yet. Don't say anything more about it. But agree or disagree. And we'll get this done and we'll start the real show. Marvel went on a rampage for like a decade and a half. COVID killed the superhero. They started bringing everything home. The quality has diminished greatly. I really think what they're trying to do, because the thing with Jonathan Majors, they had everything, all their bets were hedged on the next phase of the Avengers when it was going to be Kang's Dynasty or whatever it is. Now we don't know if we're going to have a Kang or not. Marvel's in a little bit of a upheaval, which is giving DC plenty of time to go, okay, guys. And James Gunn's like, all right, let me just shut this door real quick and we'll move on.
Yeah, no, he definitely shut the door. And here is this guy's son, who's a devoted MCU fan, 13-year-old. Here's the review from the 13-year-old.
From a 13-year-old?
Yes. Okay. 13-year-old son who's a huge fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Here's his review of the movie. It was a lot of animal abuse, plus killing, and 4 hours of angry people yelling at each other.
Oh, but here's the thing. That's a sensitive review. We don't want to see that.
What do you mean that's a sensitive review?
I just think that is a generational review. That's just kind of how everyone feels under the age of 35.
Literally.
About anything that might be offensive at all.
Literally, here's what I can give you that I guarantee you can sum up this movie.
Okay.
And it's in his review.
Sure.
It's 4 hours of people yelling at each other. Tell me that's funny. What part of the sweet little Asian weird character yelling at everybody for 4 hours do you find amusing?
I just need to see the movie. Because here's the thing. You and I, as much as we're here on stuff, we're galaxies away on some things too. I'm not saying you're wrong. I need to see the movie.
If you like the first one, you're going to love not going to the third one.
Well, I will see the third one because
Yes. If you loved the first one, dude, you're gonna love not having this in your library at home.
Did you like Iron Man 3
No,
more than one?
no,
No, nobody did.
Dude,
Thor, same thing with Thor. In
it's
any
not-
trilogy, Harley.
It's not a matter of did you like it or was it a better movie or was it as good a movie. They literally took everything about. It's like doing the Terminator series and then them coming out with a Terminator movie where the Terminator is instead of it being a cool robot that kills people, it's now a T100 algebra calculator that makes snarky comments. Like they literally took every single thing that was good about Guardians of the Galaxy and they deballed it.
I get it, and I'm also of the. How often is there a trilogy or a quadrilogy? Okay, let's take it back 20 years. The Alien quadrilogy, as they call it. What's the best one out of that?
Alien versus Predator Requiem.
But realistically, before the Predators, Aliens is better than the first one.
Yes.
Alien 3, garbage.
But Alien 3, they didn't go, you know what? People really liked the first two movies. Let's do everything we can to piss off every fan we've ever had.
Right.
Like the only thing they didn't do is make Peter Quill.
Peter Quill. Dang it, I was going to say Peter Quill. Oh, you're talking about Guardians again. Okay, yes. I was thinking Peter and the aliens.
No.
Yeah, Peter Quill.
He's not funny. He's not happy. You don't like him.
Yeah.
Like, the thing about him as a character is you and I, people our age, saw that guy and go, oh, I get that.
Yeah.
Like, I could see myself reacting that way.
You're right.
And in 3, it's like, no.
This is the thing. It's like I said about Black Adam. Now stop. It's one of those movies, it's like a funeral for a friend. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to throw the dirt on it and call it good without all the pomp and circumstance. I'm not saying that's it. I haven't seen it. I'm not disagreeing with you that it might or might not be a bad movie. I'm just telling you what I've heard. I have not seen it yet.
No,
there are movies I want to see. There are even more movies I want to see before I see it.
One of the other things, first movie, bang up job on music.
Oh yeah,
like
right out of the gate.
Every song you were like, dude. There were 2 songs that I recognized.
Mm-hmm.
2 in the movie. The end song, they started playing this song, and I was like, "You're telling me that if you're taking a Zune full of music to outer space, that you're including this bullshit?"
Yeah.
You
see if you can find it? Who is it?
End. Dude, I have no idea. Song in Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It's got a Bruce Springsteen song, which I didn't even know it was Bruce Springsteen unless I passed out during it. But they had a Radiohead song and a Beastie Boys song that you would recognize. This is the one. Florence and the Machine.
Oh, I probably.
And this song was literally a everybody get up and dance point in the movie based on what the characters in the movie were doing. This is literally the big ending to the movie. This song. Like, all the characters start dancing to this.
Well, I personally like the song. I've heard it before.
Right. The first movie, you loved every song. If there was a song in the first movie that you didn't like, you like now. That's it.
I heard it.
Yeah, wait for the big drop. That's it.
I mean, the song's 15 years old. It's still considered older. I like the song. I'm not. No!
You're purposely.
No, I'm not. I like
trying
the
to be
song.
obtuse.
No, I like the song. I like Florence and the Machine. There's about a 10-year stretch where most of what I listened to was like Florence and the Machine, Muse, Arcade Fire. I mean, I know what you're saying is it's too modern considering the first one. Now listen.
It's too modern. It literally, dude, every single song in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, you were like, oh, every single song. That was their big cinch. Their big winner.
I know, but I think, I'm not saying that the audience to the original Guardians aged out, but they've got to throw some stuff in there to kind of, for the mid-range fan.
So you're telling me if you're looking at Billboard 100 songs for that era, that song is a rocket to the top, baby.
I'm not saying it's a rocket to the top, but I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I need to see the scene. Why are you mad?
Because you're, like I said, your purpose being obtuse about it. Like, no, that makes perfect sense that they wouldn't play a song that would get you. Why would they do that?
Listen.
Like sometimes
No.
you gotta play a song that makes you song.
No. Okay. What was the Beastie Boys song? You're saying I never heard of.
No, I didn't say you never heard of it. It was a popular one.
Sabotage?
Yes, I think.
That one? It's none of yours, it's sabotage. It's none of yours.
No, actually, I don't think it was Sabotage, because that would have given me the Star Trek vibes, and I don't think that. No Sleep Till Brooklyn. Bruce Springsteen's Badlands.
That's a good song.
I don't like anything by Springsteen.
Okay.
Alice Cooper's I'm Always Chasing Rainbow.
Okay.
The Mowgli San Francisco.
Who's that? The Mowgli?
The Mowglis.
Okay.
And Radiohead's Creep.
Okay.
They did do Crazy on You, but it was short. They didn't play the whole song.
What's the song? You know, they've been known for opening with some bangers when they did
Creep.
That's what they opened with? Was there a battle scene at the Volume 2 when they did Mr. Blue Sky or whatever? Yeah. That was really well done.
Yeah.
Their openings have always been solid.
No.
Not this one?
Literally, it opened with Creep, and it was kind of just like mopey. It was a mopening.
Sad.
Mopening. It was
a
mopey opening.
A mopey opening? I might see it this weekend. I don't know. Pop this thing open. We'll talk a little.
G.I. Joe.
Is that Destro?
We must stop the Joes.
All I gotta do is look. No.
We control the forces of nature.
The one I was doing is probably more.
Yes, Lord Megatron. We must stop the Autobots. Destro, to the rescue.
What are you doing? G.I. Joe, American hero. We'll talk about movies that potentially could have been good, but were not. G.I. Joe and G.I. Joe Retaliation. Once again, the theory holds The Rock in an ensemble cast.
We've got him in sight. Hold on, Mask will be right back. Now watch what Mask does. Hold on, there's a battle we have to tend to. Be right back. We got him. Now back to the show.
Mask doesn't know what it's getting into. We'll be right back. Now back to Mask and Venom.
Come on, T-Bob. Mask will be right back. Oh boy, back to Mask.
I watched.
Mask will be right back.
I don't think I watched
that. Was
Mask.
the one.
Mask will be right back. I watched. What was the one? The mouse. They were the motorcycle gang. What were they? Look it up real fast. Mouse motorcycle gang. When you see it, you're gonna go, "Oh yeah." What was it? You looking? You're not looking.
Is it Tiny Hell's Angels?
No. It was like Sons of Anarchy, but it was mice.
Dude, I'm telling you, I've got nothing. The Mouse and Motorcycle? No, this can't be. Mouse and the Motorcycle.
Biker mice from Mars. You remember that?
No, I feel like you're making it up.
Oh, you're listening to something too? I'm trying to play the thing.
I heard it. Now I'm watching The Mouse and the Motorcycle.
God, man. You got the freaking master computer. I can't do squat. Don't give a damn about that.
Okay.
I do have to say, real quick, went to Free Comic Book Day over the weekend. Picked up a couple comic books.
I thought that was on a Tuesday.
No, it's always on the weekend. Anyway, so I'm walking around. She is, because she only has custody on the weekends. Walking around, I come upon a... You've been to DZ Comics, right?
Where's it at?
Off of I-35. It's in Moore. Pretty good sized comic shop. They got a game room. Anyway, there is a figure of Voltron in this really badass pose. He's got the freaking sword in the air. And I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the price, and I'm going, golly, $750. And this kid, I say kid, to me, if you're as tall as I am, you should have at least some grasp. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there's some, 5'9", 13-year-olds that probably still have a better grasp of pop culture than this kid did. He says, oh, wow, Power Rangers. I walked out.
Just punch him, dude.
But I saw, I'll show you a picture. The most badass American Werewolf in London costume I've ever seen. Give me just a second, I'll show you. It was cool as shit. The guy I was with was like, hey, come outside. There's a guy dressed like the werewolf from American Werewolf in London. I'm looking around. Werewolf. And I couldn't see the guy. And then I saw this guy turn around, and he had a Kessler wolf head. He's dressed like David with the mask of the Kessler.
I like it.
Isn't that cool? So that was a highlight for me. Got my picture taken with me. I'd give anything to have that mask, though.
You'd sell it 3 weeks after you got it.
I've still got stuff I haven't sold.
Kill yourself a month later. I wish I'd never sold that.
Everything that you've given to me so far, still sitting there. I don't know how to get rid of it.
I almost bought you something because your birthday's coming up, and I didn't, I feel bad about it.
What? Come on, something. It's got to be something snarky.
Why does it have to be something snarky?
Like some Bengay or
no
a monocle for my left eye. I like James Gunn. Brightburn was a good movie. So was Belko Experiment. The Suicide Squad was good. Just saying. And I'm willing to bet as much stroke as James Gunn has, he's no match for the power of the mouse. I mean, that, you know what I mean? Like, Disney has also traditionally went, can we cut instead? I'll tell you what. We'll give you an F-bomb. You can be you can be the only MC movie to ever get an F-bomb, but
you can't be funny.
Right. You guys you're betting it all on blue at this point.
Yep.
All right. I just love our heated conversations. It humanizes us as hosts. You don't think so?
I think if you don't say 3, 2, 1 and start doing the show, I'm going to stab you in the face.
3,
Does
2.
That humanize us?
Can you shut the...
Good job.
You like it?
That was super funny. I'm laughing.
Your eyes are laughing.
No, they're not.
They're going, I could laugh right now, but then he wins. That's the thing, though. You've spent 15 years. This is what, I love you. This is how you never agree with me. You say, it's not exact. I wouldn't say it's that. Not exactly that. Well, it's not exactly. I've never heard you agree with me.
Why are you hitting the table?
I've never heard you agree with me in 15 years.
Do you know how hard it is to edit that shit out of a show?
You've never agreed with me.
That's
not exactly it.
I agree. I'm 100% on your side.
I concur. All right. 3, 2, 1.